Hello everybody, my name is Willem and this is Feedback Fridays. We are officially 10 weeks away from Dakar. I can now count them on my fingers. 10 weeks. This is crazy. Really starting to set in right now what I'm embarking on, which is a lifelong dream and something I'm super excited about. So drawing a lot of energy from that, but at the same time, starting to feel the pressure. So really exciting time. Like I say, Feedback Fridays, guys, if you haven't followed along, Feedback Fridays gives a raw, unfiltered look. I have Decoding Dakar episodes. It's a little bit more curated, a little bit more edited, but Feedback Fridays are here to show you guys where I am in the world on a specific Friday leading up to Dakar. So this Friday I am in New Hampshire. It's been a really rare week for me, a really rare treat to be at home, really nice. Managed to spend some time with the family. It's really rare for me to spend a week at home, so I'm really blessed and really enjoying it. This week was taken up mostly by arranging the Cape Roadbook Camp, which will be in Cape Town. So next Friday when I speak to you guys, I will be speaking to you from the Parel region of Cape Town. So that will be exciting. It was spent buying a lot of gear that I need for Dakar. Obviously very important for me to get the gear long ahead of time. I don't want to be rushing with that before the time. It was spent with administration work, sorting out some insurance stuff, obviously carrying on with the physical training. I had a very nice long good call with Steve. We upped my strength work, so that's been really good, really getting into that type of stuff, pushing a little bit more as we going closer or getting closer towards Dakar. So I think this week, given that we're talking about stuff being raw and unfiltered and true, I think it is a good time to focus on something that I believe a lot of people experience and we don't always talk about. So this Feedback Friday, I'm kind of stepping it back a bit and kind of talking a little bit more about what it's like and some of the stuff that some of us experience. So rally racing specifically, people suffer from something that I call the post-rally blues. And I think anybody that's ever done an extreme sport where they push themselves to the limit can relate to this, right? There is a aspect of coming down after a big race, and it was really brought home to me this week because I fielded at least 5 calls, if not more, from friends and fellow racers that competed in the Baja Rally that was just not feeling it. They weren't feeling good. They didn't know what to do. And after a big race, normally a week, 2 weeks after a big race, you have this come down where you like, what the F is going on? Why am I feeling like this? And it's tough because it's one of those things that I think if I were to kind of dissect it, we deal with it as, we willingly put ourselves into a scenario of stress and duress, but then you also live a really regimented life in a rally, right? You've got your briefings, you've got your time to get up, you've got your time to start, you finish, you eat, you do maintenance on your bike. So it's super regimented. And then after the race, after all the highs and after all the lows, all of a sudden everything's just flat. And you start asking yourself, like, what am I doing? What's next? So I've coined it as post-rally stress syndrome, PRSS. And because I didn't compete in the Baja Rally, I kind of thought that I wouldn't be dealing with that because I didn't race. Unbeknownst to me, I still went through all the highs and lows of all the riders as I was managing the event. I still had the same disciplined schedule every day. So I definitely, I believe, fell prey to post-rally stress syndrome this week. And a week after the time, I can say without a doubt that this week emotionally for me was the toughest week ever since I started the Decoding Dakar thing, which is just crazy because I couldn't understand why. I still can't understand why I should feel down and depressed. And I think that kind of makes it worse, because if I take a step back and I look at what I'm doing this year and looking at my life, there is not a simple there is no reason for me to feel down or depressed or low energy. I'm packing for a trip to Namibia. I'm in a different place every month. I get to effectively live my dream. I'm preparing for Dakar, and the fact that I then feel down makes you feel like, why? And that question, that why, is a really big. It escalates, right? Because now you're feeling even worse because you feel down because of the fact that you shouldn't be feeling down. I hope I'm making sense, and I'm sure many of you can relate, right? The thing just escalates. You're like, but wait, I have no reason to feel down. I'm privileged. I have a house. I get to ride motorcycles. I get to travel. And then the fact that you don't allow yourself to feel down escalates, and it makes the situation even worse. So to me, like, legitimately, that's what I went through this week, which is crazy. I mean, Wednesday specifically, I had to force myself to do anything. I was just so low energy. And I, like, for me, the thing about the training is not to miss a single day, and I was not going to miss a day. And Steve, if you're watching this, that workout that you gave me, I did it, but it was like a lamb being led to the slaughterhouse. I had to physically force myself through every single exercise, every single move. I kept on saying, well, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I got through it. I'm very proud that I got through it. I did it. I did not give up. However, normally if you do that, if you push through a training, after the fact, you feel elated, you feel happy, you feel good because you did it. On Wednesday, I was so down that even after I did the exercise, I was like, so what, I did it. I didn't even experience that elation, which to me is just mind-blowing. I don't understand how it works. So as somebody that sometimes struggle with this, I believe all rally riders struggle with this. I believe all extreme sports people struggle with this. And I think, for me at least, I'm not a qualified psychologist or somebody that's qualified to give advice, but just from my experience, the two things that I really used to help me to get through this was, number one, in the climbing world, we have a saying, you have to expect to self-rescue. And I think when you're in the depths of your mind, no matter how many people you have around you, no matter how many loved ones you have, no matter how much support you have, the only way to get out of that is to self-rescue. There is no help coming. There's nobody coming to save you when you're down there in your mind. So for me, one of the kind of mantras that I work through is, I have to self-rescue. I have to get myself out of this because nothing else is going to do that for me. That's number one. Number two, that's more for the physical training, but I find that it helps me mentally, is the idea of the only limiting factor is your mind. You can do anything, you can get through anything. The only limiting factor is your mind. And with those two mantras, I kind of got myself through the day. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't nice, definitely not proud of it, but I kind of slept myself through the day. Got to Thursday, Thursday I was energized, I was motivated, I was able to practice, I did a really good training session, and everything was back to normal. The point that I want to make is that I think we all go through those really tough times, no matter how well your life is going, and that we all have to remember that at some point, if we expose ourselves to these extreme sports, that we're going to have those come downs, and that we have to plan for that so that we can work through it when it happens. So that's kind of my Feedback Friday. I know this is heavy, but the point of Feedback Fridays is to be honest and give you guys a real look at what I experienced in that week leading up to Dakar. So the takeaway for me is, guys, if you do feel bad after a race, after a big event, you're not alone. We all go through it. Maybe one day I'll dive into it, and I'd love to write a book or something about how the brain processes these things, because it's super interesting to me. I am definitely preparing mentally for after Dakar, because we all go through that. Anybody that has been to Dakar will tell you that they go through that extreme down afterwards. So what we have to look forward to for the next week is on Monday I'm getting on a plane to South Africa. We will have the Cape Roadbook Camp, and after that I'll be heading to Namibia. So next Friday I'll be coming to you from South Africa, and the following Friday from Namibia. So that's going to be really, really cool up in the dunes. Guys, if you are following along, if you're new, please go and check out on YouTube. Just type in Decoding Dakar on the internet, on Chrome, Safari, wherever you get your internet from. Please follow along. Please help me complete this journey. Things are getting really, really kind of heated right now. We're getting into the home stretch. 10 weeks to go. It's getting real. Any help, any support is truly appreciated. So you can follow along on YouTube, you can follow along on Instagram. Everything is Willem Avenant Rally Racing. Or you can just go to decodingdakar.com, decodingdakar.com, and it will give you all of the options. We are running the Decoding Dakar Challenge, which is going to be amazing. It is an interactive thing where you can take part, be part of my Dakar journey. The overall prize is already well over $10,000. We're getting tons of people to help us with that, sponsor prizes. And you basically answer a bunch of questions. Some of them are Dakar trivia, and some of them is how you think I'm going to experience Dakar. And then after Dakar, we will, at the end of January, we will go through all the answers. You have up until the end of January to answer the answers. You don't have to do it right now. And then the winner, the person that got most of the answers right, will win this massive over $10,000 prize. We will get into it more. I'll kind of do a breakdown of all the prizes. It is on the website, so go and check it out. Buy a ticket. That ticket money goes straight towards my Dakar effort, and then the ticket gives you access to the questionnaire. So if you guys have any questions, if you have anything to share, let me know. If there's anything specific you want to see, let me know. But I'm super excited to bring you 9 weeks to Dakar next week, so I can't wait. It's getting real, guys. I'm super excited, and I appreciate you guys for watching this. So yeah, follow along, share with your family and friends, and we will see you in South Africa. Remember, just be lekker.